Carly, it's our final episode, and I thought we would kick off today's episode a little bit different than we normally do because we have a winner of our power rankings. So what do you think we announce who it is?
Absolutely. Let's celebrate.
Yes. Would you like to do the honors?
Oh my gosh, yes. So we are very excited. It was honestly a nail biter, a 1 point difference last week and this week. And who is it going to be? Michelle P.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Yes. Congrats, Michelle. She emailed me back today and is so excited. And she said she will send pictures from dinner at Freight House with Sara. So can't wait to see those. And congratulations again, Michelle. It was so fun watching you this season. You absolutely crushed it week to week. And so it was a little heartbreaking last week to see that you were down to second after leading for so long, but you brought it back at the end. So congrats and enjoy your dinner. That is going to be so amazing.
Here at Track Your Knives, this is our final episode of season 23, where we did not provide you with your typical, recap podcast. We've presented you these weekly community power rankings where we rated players from most likely to be eliminated to most likely to win. We brought you the highlights from all these different fantasy leagues. And I think what's the most fun for me, and hopefully what draws you all in addition to the sense of community that we've created with these power rankings, is the data-driven insights that we have relating to the episodes at hand. And even though the podcast is going to be on hold until next season, we still always have you covered with looking up restaurants on find-topchef.com and tons of data on packyourknives.com. And just want to give a huge thanks to Sara for providing Michelle P. this chef-curated meal at Freight House in Paducah, and also just for being a really great co-host. It's been really fun to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of data-driven insights, this week you released your Top Chef reference guide. You published it on packyourknives.com and you put it on Reddit for others to see. And I think you've had quite a bit of great feedback so far. And I know Sara and Tom were talking about it on Pack Your Knives and how much they were enjoying digging into it. So I just wanted to give you a quick shout out for just the insane amount of work that you do to keep track of all of this data, because people really like to nerd out on this, and it's been fun these last 14 episodes, which is crazy, just getting to dig into that and talk about it with you. So just congrats to you for getting that published. I know that was a lot of work.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's been, even since I published it, I've now added on Top Chef Masters. And, so that it's always going to be evolving, and, definitely new pages are in the works. So just the idea is that it's a living reference. And it's not, quite as easy to find perhaps as, the website find-topchef.com or packyourknives.com. So we're going to try to figure out how to embed so it's a little easier in the off season. But yeah, provide any feedback you want. Let me know here on Substack or on Instagram. I really, really enjoy doing all of these analyses.
Yeah, it's awesome. And we're going to use your reference guide today to revisit the GOAT status conversation that we had from a few weeks ago. And so I thought we could go chef by chef here. And we went in the order that we thought the chefs ended up in at the finale. And if you haven't listened yet to the Pack Your Knives episode, I think everyone knows Sara was a judge on that finale. And so she tasted all of the food and has all of the tea on what wasn't shown in the episode, what her thoughts were on the food. So we won't spend too much time on that, but we did feel like with Lawrence's duck that really kind of set him into what we would consider the third spot. And so we wanted to talk about him first because he had a killer season. So 4 elimination wins, 4 elimination tops. So he was on the top 8 of the 13 episodes that where they had an elimination challenge, and he was only on the bottom twice. So in terms of GOAT status, where do you now consider Lawrence in terms of like all time?
Yeah, I think he is right up there. His overall win rate is just below what I would usually consider GOAT status, which is 0.260. He's at 0.25. So, but that's a really great win rate that 25% of the time he won. When I was looking across all second and third placers, so I'm considering Lawrence and Sherry essentially tied at second because they didn't actually do a season 16 style elimination where like it was clear that Eric came in third, so there are just under 50 of those folks, and he's the 8th best when I'm looking at the my standardized score of not bottom plus top. And so he's really, really strong. And I know this isn't one of the finalists, but I also want to call out Anthony, because he's also just there with Lawrence with an overall win rate of 25%. He was at the top, or won 6 times, and he quote unquote won an episode where he won both the quickfire and the elimination. So Lawrence just had a stellar season, and is just seems like a really wonderful person based on a lot of the social media that I've seen.
Yeah, I agree. He just like, even it came through all the episodes, just like so kind and encouraging of everyone else. And I'm excited to see what he does. And I think he'd be a great one to bring back if they do an all-star season sometime in the future. He would be a little bit more seasoned, and I think he'd really make a run for that Top Chef title the second time around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk Sherry. So Sherry also was on the top of eliminations 8 times. She won 2 of those and only had 1 elimination where she was at the bottom. So she also had a really great season. How does she rank on the GOAT list?
I don't think she's quite there. I think it really comes down to her win percentage, which is her win percent is 8.3. So it's just not there. Being at the top 8 times is really incredible, and her NPT plus the not bottom plus topper winning percent standardized across all of the seasons and all of the chefs is in the like high 100s, almost 200. So she's still like 85% better than most, like than the average Top Chef contestant. And again, just a very impressive final. Well, we were looking at the final 4 last week, and this was just a really stellar finale. Yeah, this was great. All right, well then let's talk about our winner, Rhoda. So she had 3 elimination wins, was eliminated, came back through Last Chance Kitchen. She also had 2 elimination tops and 2 elimination bottoms. So I think maybe what hurts her, and this is a question I have for you, is that she missed a significant amount of challenges. So does that hurt her numbers here, or kind of where does she fit in terms of looking at like your GOAT status? Yeah, I mean, I think that certain components would so when I think of GOAT status, I think of consistency, duration, and star power. So consistency is that win rate, and she's there. She's at 35% of the time. Duration, like the number of times like you're in the top, is just not, as you said, because she missed 3 episodes. Like, it's just not quite there. And the star power that I had previously thought of as like winning a whole episode. I mean, Lady got the first 2 individual immunity challenge.
Right.
No, wait, sorry. That was Survivor Talk. Elimination. Yeah. So like star power.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think I can amend. I mean, her win rate's really high. So maybe that is GOAT like. I will say that her NPT plus, you know, the standardized score across all the chefs is the 5th highest of all of the winners. So she's and she's actually tied for 10th over all of the chefs with Nina Compton from New Orleans. So, you know, in very impressive company.
Yes. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, congrats to Rhoda. She was very fun to watch this season. And I thought they bookended the first episode and the last episode so well, because she started off the season saying she wasn't there to find herself. And then at the end, she was like, okay, maybe I did.
Yeah.
Did find myself. So I thought that was like such a great way to end it. I also cried probably 3 times during this episode. It was just like so sweet, and bringing in the families, and then Kristen crying. I'm tearing up now just thinking about it. But yeah, I just thought it was such a great way to end the season.
Yeah. And I think that just the what is it? I don't know, the serotonin of like being able to hug a family member after such a stressful, quick season. You know, there wasn't a break for them between the previous episode and the finale. Right. And so like just being able to like fully breathe for a while, as opposed to like, I bet their heart rates were just so much higher during the season than normally. And so I think that was also like a good grounding moment. Plus just seeing how proud everyone's family was is really beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And Sara was talking about, she was standing behind the families as they were announcing the winners. And she said it was just like such a sweet moment, because they like supported Rhoda's sister, even though their loved ones had just lost. They were like so supportive of her, and like the emotions that she was feeling for her sister in that moment. So it was just, very, very sweet.
Oh,
yeah.
Now you've made me cry a little bit.
Oh boy, a bunch of saps.
Okay. The best kind. No, we have hearts.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. All right. So Rhoda, as we mentioned, came back from Last Chance Kitchen. She is one of 4 chefs that have come back and won their season. So how does she compare against those 4 chefs?
Yeah. So I forgot that. Okay, also spoilers for season 10, 14, and 15. But it's been a decade, so
that's on you. Yeah.
That's on you. I forgot that Brooke was eliminated and won Last Chance Kitchen in season 14, Charleston. But she didn't miss any episodes of the main series, and so I think that's part of why I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how Charleston and Carolinas, right? The 2 seasons with Carolinas have an LCK winner. So Rhoda, like Kristen, missed more episodes. So Rhoda missed 3. Kristen in season 10 missed 4. Comparatively, Brooke is just above Rhoda in terms of the percent of time she was at the top or won, the percent of time she was never at the bottom, and her win rate. And so Brooke is above Rhoda, but Kristen and Joe are further down.
Yeah.
Overall, Kristen is ranked 42nd and Joe 45th, whereas Brooke is 7th and Rhoda's 10th. So I think that it is impressive to me that even though Rhoda missed more episodes than both Brooke and Joe, she still had better, win stats and being safe than Joe and Kristen. Although Kristen, this is very impressive. Kristen's percent of not being on the bottom, so that's like being in or top or winning, 95%.
Jeez, that's
what?
Fantastic. Yeah.
Whoa.
Amazing. Yeah, she's the highest.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Really impressive.
Yeah, very good. And that's very fun that Rhoda, Kristen, and Joe Flam were all in the final episode.
How did the knife draw just happen to pull the LCK winner for Rhoda as the mentor? I was like, was that rigged? Because that's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. All right. Well, let's get into power rankings. So just a few things I wanted to talk about for this season. So we had a total of 206 people sign up for power rankings this year. Of those 200, 188 submitted for at least one episode. So they didn't participate the full season, but they at least submitted for one episode, and maybe lost some steam as they started to see those who were crushing it at the top. Though there are a lot of people that stuck it out even at the bottom. I think they were having fun. And then we had 42 people who submitted each week, myself included. Carly unfortunately missed 1 week, but it didn't hurt you too bad. But yeah, no. So I thought it was really great participation. And so next year, we're definitely looking forward to thinking about how this evolves and getting more people involved as well. But it was a very fun season for us. And I hope everyone that played enjoyed it as well. So this episode... Actually, not this episode. Let's talk bonus questions as well before we jump into this episode. So we had 2 people that just absolutely crushed the bonus. Who was that?
That was Serafina and Deg SF. And I think that is part of the reason why Deg SF was coming so close to Michelle in the power rankings, just being able to get those extra 3 points, especially as the numbers of chefs declined. So I'm very happy, Deg SF, to be able to give you a shout out and congratulations, even though you missed the power rankings win by 1 point.
Yeah, Deg SF actually emailed me yesterday and just said, wow, with an exclamation point, and then said that they switched their order at the last minute and put Rhoda in third and Sherry in second. Otherwise, it would have been a tie. So I don't know what we would have done in that situation. We hadn't anticipated a tie, but said she had a really great time and enjoyed that this just gave her a different way to watch the show.
Absolutely.
And she said she's still going to try to figure out a way to get to Paducah and have a meal at Freight House. And so I know she was really looking forward to that, but hopefully she can still get out there and have a great meal at Freight House with Sara. All right. Power rankings. I got it completely wrong this week. So I had Sherry winning, Lawrence in second, Rhoda in third. So I only got 1 point. I think I dropped a few slots, but ended up in 21st place. So not awful.
No.
Not good status, but not awful.
I mean, almost top 20. Yeah, I ended up in 49th place, which is fine. I did miss that 1 week. I had Rhoda second. And yeah, I mean, honestly, until the probably last minute and a half of judges table, I thought Sherry was winning.
Yeah, I did too. Interesting enough, if you haven't listened to Pack Your Knives, I don't know if I should give out all of their content or not, but maybe go listen to that. But Sara talks about Sherry's final dish, the third or the fourth round dish, and talks about had that been perfect, she probably would have won. Or had she said it wasn't an ice cream, that might have made a difference. And so, yeah, it was like so close.
Yeah. Sarah's reflections on how you present your dish and what information you give to production, which is then what gets sent on to judges, is so important. And like the fewer the words, the better. Like make it so that you can give yourself some wiggle room.
Yep.
And
If
I
something
think
goes
that,
wrong.
yeah. And I think it speaks to the different skill set it takes to cook on TV for a competition as compared to cooking on TV for teaching purposes, as compared to cooking at a restaurant, as compared to cooking at home. Like they're different skill sets.
Yep.
And, I think Tom said it maybe when Brittany was eliminated, that like, they're all very good chefs. Like he has eaten at Brittany's restaurant and really enjoyed it. It's a different skill set here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the amount of time that you have is so little, and they're trying to do these really ambitious foods. And so it's like you can probably make a really good one all of the time, but you're under all of this pressure and a camera's in your face and you're like so limited on time. And so, yeah, just not everyone, those aren't everyone's skill sets. So yeah, it definitely is a totally different mindset. Well, let's talk about how everyone did in predicting. So how many people had picked Rhoda as the winner?
So that was 52 out of, I think it was, and of course my computer froze, like 108. So just about half.
Yeah.
But what was interesting, it's just, there are so many things that are tied or that could have been tied, because, it was 124, 52 out of 124. 52 also, I just closed it on my computer. So now, but I'm on two computers. Okay. Sorry. 52 people also put Lawrence as most likely to win. And so there's just like all these little things where, when the numbers get small, that can happen, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like the second week in a row, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, where it was the same number at the top too. So as we look at like throughout the whole season, if you have this data in front of you, who ended up in the top spot for the most weeks in a row?
Yeah. Lawrence was in the top spot for 7 of the 14 episodes. And just people were really seeing him as the winner. And I don't want to get into this really too much, but the betting markets around Top Chef, even Survivor, I like this version. I mean, I'm biased, of course, but because it's how we all are feeling, like as we're watching the episode, and like as the edit is evoking emotion, and as we connect with people's food or how they talk about food. And there was something about how Lawrence connected with all of us that had him be at the top so much. And ditto with Anthony too, right? He was never lower than third. And he was eliminated, right?
Yeah.
But like people really connected with him. And so it's very impressive, but it's also just like, it just feels good.
Yeah, I agree. And in terms of our top 10, so we also had Pure XJ, who did a really great job throughout this whole season, came in third, but was in the top 3 for most of the season. And then we also had Top Dog and Creamy Risotto, who were just a few points behind them. So our top 5 was up there for quite a bit. So just congratulations to all of you, and hopefully we'll see you all here next year as well, and see if you can beat out your spot next year, which will be very fun. All right. Well, we don't have a next episode to talk about. So we get to talk. I know. It's going to be so long.
Yeah.
But I know you have some fun stuff that you're working on for packyourknives.com. So anything you want to highlight before we jump into fantasy leagues for that?
Sure. Yeah. So I think that there's a lot of things that we can look at with these power rankings. So I think there's a lot to visualize because at least for me, it's hard for me to process information through listening. So I think other people might like that too. I want to do confessional analysis, insights into double eliminations, which we didn't have this season.
Yeah.
What else? And then also, I think I'll do some stuff on Tournament of Champions. I think I am not going to do anything on Food Network's 100 Chefs, but there's always that little urge in me to open a spreadsheet.
You can always go back to it.
Yeah, so the fun doesn't stop when we stop podcasting. So please continue to subscribe or upgrade to a paid subscription. And if there's ever anything that you want me to look at, just ping me. Let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, let's talk fantasy leagues. So scoring notes, we only scored the winner. So Rhoda got 25 points. We did not score. There weren't any eliminated chefs. We didn't score that. We didn't score top. I think Tom and Sarah maybe gave Lawrence and Sherry each 2 points, which made no difference because they were Sarah's chefs anyway. So it just brought her score up even higher. But we just did the 25 points for Rhoda, which means, when we talked about this last week, that if Rhoda won, then her and Lawrence would end up the season tied, which might be fun to go back and look to see if that's ever happened across fantasy league scoring before. But Lawrence was like leading so far ahead this whole season, and then Rhoda brought it back from elimination and ended up tied. So that was a very fun way to end the season.
Yeah. I suppose if we were to give Lawrence and Sherry 2 points for, making it to the finale, then Lawrence would have won.
Yes.
In terms of the number of points that he would get for his fantasy league teams. But
we didn't set those out as the rules ahead of time, so
that's true. No changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we? Oh, hey. Should we talk about all of the leagues and who did the best? It's been so fun, like hearing all of the different league names and the back and forth of the different Pack Your Knives leagues. So I'm excited to hear how all of those did.
Yeah. Well, I want to say that we both ended up in third in our leagues.
Yeah.
I had been first, and then I was second, and then I ended up third. It is a little bit, but I'm glad I'm not. There's one particularly competitive, so this is my coworker's competitive person, and I'm a little bit glad I beat her. Just
there you go.
To be a little petty.
I love that.
Yeah. So then when I looked at the standardized, like per chef per team score, all of the top point getters have 2 chefs, and both of them are in the finale. And so that means that like their average score is going to be high because it was these chefs that have been in and doing really well for the most part, right? So congrats to Ellie K's team 5 of team Brahmer, Nora's team of the Sounders of the Sauté, team 2 of Family League, Y Jacket 42 and Pack Your Knives 4, and Katie, aka Rookie of the Year of Kicking It with Kish.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then I wanted to also say congrats to Michelle S. Of League Glizadocious for having the highest standardized score without having a team of only finalists. Wow. They had Anthony. So that was, also, of course, very strong.
Yes.
yeah. And so then I want to congratulate the Pack Your Knives League players for those that won their league. I also think that there's some ways that we can make it better next year, just in the sense of like, I think there were some people who, signed up for a team, but then never like reached out to me to fill a team. So I think there's some room for improvement for how we engage the players who like want to be in the Pack Your Knives leagues. But really happy that all of you joined, and it's been fun to sort of see how you all have ended up. So Pack Your Knives 1, the winner is Jeremy R. Pack Your Knives 2, Kristen B. 3, No Reservations. 4, Y Jacket 42. Pack Your Knives 5 was never filled. Pack Your Knives 6, Costers. 7, Jacob's Judges Table, run by MJ. Pack Your Knives 8, Mindy D, and Pack Your Knives 10, Delali A. So congratulations. Thank you so much for playing, and definitely want to have you back next year.
Yeah, that's so fun. Yeah, I was excited that you started those leagues to get people who maybe don't have a group of friends who like to watch Top Chef. So it gives them something fun to do. So that was very nice of you to do. All right. Well, that's going to do it for the finale episode. Anything we didn't talk about before we sign off that you think is important?
I think we covered it.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, we'll wrap it up. As Carly mentioned at the start, on find-topchef.com, I'm working on keeping all restaurants updated so that you can, as you're traveling around the U.S., find Top Chef restaurants in the locations that you're visiting and make sure that you can track that you visited those. Actually, it's as we have team offsites, my team will always ask me what Top Chef restaurants there are in the area that I want to try where we're going. So that's become a fun thing to do with my leadership team. And then besides that, make sure you subscribe on the Substack on packyourknives.com. Lots of great episodes on there. I know there's going to be some follow-up episodes that Tom and Sarah are doing. And I think maybe some interviews with the chefs from this season. So definitely check that out and subscribe so that you get all of Carly's great content for off the season. That will do it for us.
That will. This has been a wonderful ride of Track Your Knives.